Marriage can feel like a huge responsibility. Many people look at it and think, so much effort, so many risks, so much potential pain. I understand this feeling. The idea of a lifelong commitment can seem overwhelming. But what I want you to understand is that divorce is not the end of life. It is simply the start of a new chapter. It's a chance to grow, to learn, and to realign with your own needs and values. I remember a story about a famous psychologist and hypnotist, Wolf Messing. Once, he was on a train heading to Leningrad. In his compartment were 4 people. A young man noticed Messing's portrait in a newspaper, realized he was sitting across from the real person, and asked him to perform a trick. Messing, tired after 2 shows, initially declined. But the young man insisted and even offered money if Messing could read his thoughts. Eventually, through careful observation and understanding, Messing correctly guessed the young man's purpose. He was traveling to finalize a divorce. This story is more than just a fascinating anecdote. It shows how subtle signals, from behavior, gestures, or decisions, can reveal deeper truths about life. In the context of marriage, paying attention to these signals can prevent unnecessary conflict and pain. Trust and respect are the foundations of any relationship, and when they start to fade, divorce often follows. Divorce is not simply a legal procedure. Even after the papers are signed, emotional connections often continue for months or years. People may continue to interact, negotiate boundaries, and sometimes even maintain a level of friendship. Understanding this complexity is key. Losing respect for one another, losing trust, or allowing resentment to grow can irreversibly damage the bond. We also see that infidelity is another major reason relationships fail. Forgiveness is not easy, but it is possible. I respect couples who manage to overcome betrayal and rebuild their bond. It is not about ignoring the pain, but about consciously choosing to work together, to communicate, and to align goals and values once again. Interference from family members is another factor. Parents or other close relatives often unknowingly disrupt the synchronization between partners. If a husband constantly seeks advice or support from his mother, or a wife relies excessively on her father, the energy flow in the relationship is broken. This is not about love or care. It is about influence that shifts focus away from the couple's shared life. Recognizing these influences and setting boundaries is critical. Your relationship is yours alone. Allowing others to evaluate, control, or limit your interactions and choices creates conflict and resentment. When we talk about relationships, we are not just talking about living under the same roof or sharing responsibilities. Relationships are about synchronization, a deep, often invisible connection between 2 people. Each partner carries their own energy, values, and behavioral patterns. If these are not aligned, conflict arises. I often see couples struggling because one partner continues to seek guidance or emotional support from their parents, while the other expects full engagement and independence within the relationship. A husband who constantly complains to his mother about his wife disrupts the natural flow of energy in the marriage. Similarly, a wife who relies excessively on her father for security or validation may leave her husband feeling disconnected and powerless. These patterns are not inherently wrong. They are normal human tendencies, but they can prevent the couple from forming a balanced, self-contained partnership. Understanding this concept of synchronization is crucial. Relationships thrive when both partners can exchange energy, values, and emotional support directly, without outside interference. It's not about isolation from family or friends, but about creating a protected space where the couple can define their own priorities and decisions. Equally important is learning how to communicate effectively. Too often, people approach disagreements with blame, "You always do this wrong," or "You never care about me." This is destructive. Instead, I encourage couples to use I statements. Say, "When this happens, I feel hurt," or "I need support when this occurs." By focusing on your own emotions and needs rather than attacking the other person, you open a pathway for understanding and collaboration. Addictive behaviors like alcohol or gambling are another factor that destabilizes relationships. When one partner engages in behaviors that harm themselves or the relationship, the other partner often feels powerless. Change is only possible if it is chosen willingly, for the sake of love and shared life. Attempts to force change through pressure or guilt rarely succeed and usually create resentment. Balance in responsibilities is another cornerstone of healthy partnerships. In the past, traditional gender roles often assigned rights to one partner and obligations to the other. Today, couples seek equality, equal voice, equal responsibility, and shared decision-making. If one person dominates or undermines the other, the relationship can quickly become toxic, eroding trust and respect. It's also vital to remember that a marriage should not exist solely for the children. I often hear couples say, "We need to stay together for our kids." But children observe much more than we realize. They learn from how we treat ourselves and each other. Children growing up in a home where parents are happy, respectful, and fulfilled, even if living separately, gain a better understanding of healthy relationships than those witnessing constant conflict. In modern life, divorce is not catastrophic. Society has changed. Many people experience multiple marriages or long-term partnerships over their lifetime. These transitions are natural and provide opportunities to learn and grow. The challenge is to navigate them consciously and with dignity, maintaining self-respect and respect for others. Finally, shared goals and values are essential. Couples who unite for the sake of children, obligations, or external pressures often fail. True union comes when both partners feel that their connection amplifies their personal growth and strengthens their life path. Partnerships should expand opportunities, foster mutual development, and provide emotional nourishment. When a marriage accomplishes these things, it becomes not just sustainable, but truly enriching. Our world is changing faster than ever before. Children born after 2005 will experience lives very different from ours. They will live longer, potentially over 100 years, and during that time, they will encounter multiple life cycles, periods of learning, career changes, and personal growth. Traditional ideas of a single lifelong profession are fading. Instead, they may train for a skill, work in that field for several years, then rest, retrain, and start anew. Each cycle brings new environments, new social circles, and often new families. This has profound implications for how we view marriage and divorce. We can no longer see divorce as a catastrophe. It is simply a natural transition in life. People may have multiple relationships, and these experiences provide opportunities to learn about themselves and about partnership. It is vital to approach these changes consciously, with respect for oneself and others. For parents, the biggest lesson is this: do not stay in a marriage solely for the children. Children notice far more than we think. They absorb the emotional climate of the household. If parents remain in a home filled with tension and unhappiness, children learn that relationships are stressful, painful, or manipulative. Conversely, when children see their parents happy, respectful, and thriving, even if in separate homes, they learn what healthy, fulfilling relationships look like. 2 examples of positive, loving relationships outweigh a single example of conflict every time. We also see that cultural and societal norms around marriage are shifting. In some countries, like South Korea or parts of Northern Europe, birth rates are low, and many couples choose to live separately even while legally married. Fewer people are rushing into marriage because the responsibilities and expectations can feel overwhelming. This is not a decline of love or family values. It is an evolution of how relationships are structured in modern life. Understanding these dynamics allows us to approach relationships with clarity and intention. Marriage and divorce are part of life, not final judgments on personal worth. Respect, trust, and shared goals remain the foundation. Couples who can navigate transitions consciously, honoring their own growth and that of their partner, often find deeper fulfillment than those who cling to traditional models without self-reflection. Another crucial aspect is the ability to adapt. As life cycles change, careers, cities, social circles, so too must our approach to relationships. Flexibility, mutual understanding, and commitment to personal and shared growth are key. Marriages that succeed in this environment are not just about love. They are about partnership, resilience, and evolution together. Finally, we must acknowledge that divorce, when handled with dignity and respect, can be a profound learning experience. It allows both individuals to reset, redefine priorities, and enter new life cycles with greater self-awareness. The goal is not to dwell on loss or failure, but to see every ending as the start of a new beginning. In this way, both life and relationships become opportunities for continuous development and emotional richness. In the final part of this journey, I want to talk about what truly makes a relationship last and how to navigate separation with dignity. Many people think that shared interests or physical attraction are the main foundations of marriage. While they play a role, the most critical factors are respect, friendship, and shared goals. A lasting partnership begins with respect. Without it, any relationship, formal or informal, struggles to survive. Respect means honoring your partner's opinions, boundaries, and individuality. It means listening actively, valuing their contributions, and acknowledging their feelings, even when you disagree. Friendship is equally vital. Couples who are also friends can communicate, share experiences, and navigate challenges together without resentment or hostility. When you combine respect, friendship, and emotional intimacy, the relationship becomes resilient, capable of withstanding life's ups and downs. Chemistry and romantic love add beauty and depth, but they are not enough on their own. Love needs a framework to thrive, one built on trust, empathy, and personal growth. Relationships are like gardens. They require attention, care, and nurturing. If neglected, even the most passionate love can wither. But when cultivated mindfully, love becomes a force that strengthens both partners, helping them achieve their fullest potential. Shared goals are another cornerstone. Couples who unite purely out of obligation, fear, or external pressures often struggle. True union happens when both partners feel that their connection amplifies their abilities, expands their horizons, and supports mutual growth. It's not about solving problems together. It's about creating a life that elevates each person individually and collectively. When a partnership aligns with your deepest values and aspirations, staying together is a choice you want to make every day. I also want to address divorce and separation. Ending a relationship is not a failure. It's the conclusion of a chapter, the beginning of another. The way we conduct ourselves during separation matters enormously. Handling divorce with dignity, avoiding blame, and maintaining respect for your former partner sets a positive example for children, family, and even society. It's possible to end a relationship while preserving self-respect and leaving the door open for future positive interactions. Many couples mistakenly believe that staying together for the children is the best choice. In reality, children thrive when they see their parents happy, even if living separately. They learn about love, respect, and healthy boundaries from how their parents conduct themselves. By focusing on personal fulfillment and mutual respect, we give our children a blueprint for healthy relationships rather than a lesson in conflict and resentment. Finally, I want to leave you with this thought. Relationships, whether lasting or temporary, are opportunities for growth. Every challenge, every conflict, and every transition teaches us more about ourselves, our values, and how we connect with others. The key is to approach marriage and divorce consciously with awareness, respect, and a focus on shared or individual growth. Life is not about avoiding endings. It is about navigating them gracefully and using every experience to evolve. By honoring your own needs, setting clear boundaries, and prioritizing mutual growth, you create partnerships that are not only lasting but enriching. And if a relationship ends, you do so with dignity, carrying lessons forward and opening space for new beginnings. Life, love, and growth continue, and with conscious awareness, each chapter becomes richer than the last.